Good morning, modern steaders. We've had a bunch of modern steaders asking lately about the pig's weight and going over just a quick overview of raising pigs on pasture again. So I figured this morning's a great morning to do it while the pigs are still here. Let's go check on them. They got themselves locked in. They get so pushy lately with the food, it's not even funny. They keep breaking the straps and knocking down the automatic feeder. That's the only thing on their mind right now is food. Hey, watch out. Give them some slop, some leftovers, so we can measure them. Do it quickly. So Mrs. Pig's girth measurement is 45. And overall length is 51. 45 and 51. Break that down. 45, 51. Spots is a lot wider, I'll tell you that much. $48 for spots. You gotta do a little dance. A little dance. By 48 by 52. Now let's go figure out how much they weigh. I knew that leftover food would work. When they start getting this old, they start getting pretty pushy. Gina cleaned the windows yesterday in the off-grid outdoor kitchen. They're so clear, I feel bad for the birds around here. Look at that, doesn't that look pretty? So nice. I hadn't washed them since we installed them. They were getting pretty bad. Oh, them poor birds. The last video we did in the outdoor kitchen, I left the sliding doors open and the wind noise was horrible. I'm sorry guys. I hope the sound quality on this video is better. I shut all the doors. Alright, let's find out how much each pig weighs. So we need to take the heart measurement, which is the first one, and times that by itself. I'm not doing this on camera without a calculator. So, here we go. 45 times 45 equals 2,025. So now we're going to take the 2,025 times the length, which on Mrs. Pig's was 52. So that equals 105,300. Divided by 400 equals 263 pounds. 263 pounds. That's what Mrs. Pig weighs. Awesome. Spots? I bet you Spots is going to be pushing 300 then. 48 times 48 equals 2,304. So let's go 2304 times 52 equals 1,119,808 divided by 400 equals 299 pounds. Boy, I was close. It'll be very interesting to see what these weights compare to from the day of harvesting. We're going to have to compare the day of harvesting. If I remember and if we have time, I will do the measurement trick again and get a closer weight. But even if we don't, we're only a few days away, so the weight's not going to be off, maybe 5 or 10 pounds. Not a lot. A couple of the other questions on the pigs was people wanted to know how much food we had into them. As of right now, we have 35 bags of grain invested into the pigs. When we first got started, our local feed store once a year has a pig day they call it, I believe. And they'll give you $2 off a bag of grain. So what I do is I buy 1 ton of grain, a pallet load, which is 40 bags. So let's see, we buy 40 bags times 9 equals. We have $360 invested in grain right now for the pigs. Like I said, they've only eaten 35 bags. So let's go 35 times 9 equals 315. I'm going to guess they're going to have eaten 2 more bags before the class. So I'm going to go 37 times 9 equals. We're going to have $333 invested in grain. We have also fed them a lot of our leftover food scraps, stuff from the garden, and then they've had plenty of apples. So if they didn't have all the scraps that we've fed them, that's another question. How long do you keep the pigs for? From when we buy them and bring them home, we plan on keeping them for 6 months at our homestead. And from what we found, for a rule of thumb, plan on in those 6 months going through 20 bags of grain per pig. So what I like to do is I like to buy enough grain at the very beginning when I purchase the piglets. For 2 reasons, or 3 reasons. Our local feed store has a sale and we can save $2 a bag. If they didn't have the sale, if I bought a ton of grain at once, I am sure they'd give me a discount so we can save money that way. It's a lot easier to already have the grain at the house and not having to go out and get it every week or every couple of weeks. It's very handy having it here. That way when the pigs need grain, I can go to my basement, grab 2 to 3 bags, and fill up the feeder. That being said, you want to make sure you have a nice dry place free from rodents that you can store it in. If you have to store it in outside, make sure the container is rodent proof and weatherproof. So the expenses you're going to have when raising a piglet is you're going to need the cost of the piglet, and that varies from area from I believe $100 to $150 for the piglet, and depending on the time of the year. Around here, springtime piglets go for $125 to $150 a piglet. Wintertime piglets you can get for around $75 a piglet. The cost of the feed per pig is going to be roughly around $200. And then another expense you need to think about is the butchering fees. The butchering fee is going to be probably around $300 when you're all said and done. That's bringing the pigs alive to the butcher shop. They'll do the killing, they'll do the butchering, they'll cut up all your meat, package it, and they'll send it to your local smokehouse, get the hams and the bacon cured, and you'll get them back. So if you can invest once in a class like we'll be doing here, the 3-day pig harvesting class, in learning the skill of harvesting your own animals, curing your own meats, you're going to save a lot of money in the long run. And that's what we're looking forward to. We're looking forward to have the skill of being able to harvest our own animals here on the property and then being able to cure our own meats. That's going to be a huge savings right there for us. And the other nice part about that is going to be a lot less stress on the pigs. We don't have to try to get the pigs into a trailer, which can take an hour or more sometimes. Pigs are smart, and to them a trailer is something new. It's kind of like going into a deep, dark cave for us. Pigs can smell very good, and a trailer has new smells and odors for them, so they're very curious and very hesitant to get into a trailer for you. So the pigs don't have the stress of going into the trailer. You don't have the stress of trying to load the pigs. They don't have the stress of the ride. And when they get to a butcher shop, to them it smells like death. I hate to say it, but it's true. Animals can smell and sense all that stuff. So that being said so the point I'm trying to get to is that makes them all stressed and anxiety and sends all different chemicals and hormones through their blood, and they say that taints the meat. They say if you can process and keep your animal less stressed, the meat will be more tender and taste better. That's one of the things we'll be finding out here this year, and I'm excited for it. It's going to be a more humane way to harvest our pigs. And we're going to have a lot more control from start to finish of our meat. We'll be raising the meat here, and then we'll be butchering it, we'll be curing it, we'll be making our own sausage, we'll be knowing what went into the animal for food, we'll know which herbs and spices and all the care that has gone into the meat that we'll be making. And then the curing process we'll be doing here also. We won't be using any chemicals, so we're going to know what's completely in our meat from A to Z. Let's go back outside and I'll give you an overview for the fence and how we raise our pigs on pasture that way. We use 2 strands of electric fence. That's aluminum wire. We keep it around shin high and knee high. You gotta remember, when a pig is only looking like this, most pigs don't look up, so they're not seeing what's here. They're seeing what's in front of them and what's down. So that's the perfect height wire to keep your pigs in. We use metal T-posts, plastic insulators. I highly recommend metal T-posts for the corners. But everywhere else, you can use fiberglass or plastic rods with slide-over insulators. That works very well and is very inexpensive. You can get a solar charger, or what I did, I have a DC-powered electric fencer with a marine battery that I just charge up. I have 2 of them. I have 1 car battery, 1 marine battery. I keep one on a trickle charger, and then I keep the other one out here. You can hear it's I just made a homemade cart and I keep it covered with a tarp. That way I don't have to worry about the weather getting to it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any more questions on raising pigs or raising pigs on pasture or harvesting your own animals, leave it in the comments down below. We read all the comments and we love interacting with the modern steaders. You can also go on over to our website, lumnaacres.com. I'll put a link to that here in the video description below, and you can find out more information about how we raise our animals here, what we're doing at Lumna Acres, and ask more questions over there. If you liked the video, we ask you to give it a thumbs up, share it. It really helps the channel grow. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, now is a great time to do that. Just go down below, hit the subscribe button, and if you hit the bell button, that turns on notifications and lets you know every time we go live or upload a new video. And we'll see you right back here tomorrow at Lumna Acres, a guide to modern homesteading, self-sufficiency, and freedom. Bye. Pig waterer made out of a 55-gallon food-grade drum and 1 water nippler. Today I'm going to be making a pig waterer. I'm going to be using this 55-gallon drum, food grade one. I want to make sure there was no hazardous or dangerous stuff in it. This one had glycerin. Then you're going to need a nipple waterer, adjustable wrench, a 3/4 inch paddle drill bit, silicone. Then I have another threaded piece right here of 1/2 inch pipe threads. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drill between the 15-gallon and the 10-gallon mark. I want to make sure there's always around 10 gallons of water in here, so that way there's some weight so the pigs can't get over and push it and knock it over. The pigs are notorious for getting their nose under stuff and knocking it over. And then this way it'll be at a higher enough height for them, and if I need to I can put a couple of cinder blocks under it to raise it up off the ground. Then I'm going to heat up my 1/2 inch pipe thread with my torch. The reason why I heated up my 1/2 inch pipe thread was so I could thread the plastic. How good you guys can see it.
I want to be able to thread the plastic so my nippler can thread in nicely. Just going to take a little bit of silicone and put it on the thread. The silicone might be a little bit of an extra measure, but I'd rather make sure it's not going to leak. I didn't heat up the nipple because of all the plastic pieces in it. I didn't want to damage or melt anything in there. Let the silicone set up for a little while, then I'll put it in the pig's pen and I'll take you guys along. Not even been in there 5 minutes yet and they're already learning how to use it. As you can see, the pigs are pretty smart. It didn't even take them 5 minutes to figure out how to use it, and they're already fighting over it like a bunch of little kids. For an extra precaution, I'm just going to go ahead and take myself a tie-down strap and I'm going to wrap it around the middle of the bucket, right around my corner T-post. I shut the fence off so I don't have to worry about getting zapped. The pigs are very rough. They like to push around stuff, dig and root. I don't know if you can see in the video, but they are pulling on that nipple, biting on the nipple and pulling on it pretty good. So I'm curious to see if they're going to be able to get it out of the 55-gallon drum. I guess time will tell. If they do, we'll just have to figure out a way to reinforce it. Chalk it up for one more win for Lumna Acres. Less water we got to be hauling every day. So if you guys have any questions, comments, leave them down below. If you have any ideas on how to make it better, how to reinforce anything, let me know. This is my first time with this water style. I've seen it before. I've had the nipple for a couple of years now. I've just never made one yet. So I'll try to go online and I'll try to find out where you can get that nipple, and I'll put a link down below. I'm sure it's pretty easy, but I'll leave the link down below in the description box. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, share it, it really helps, and we'll see you back here next time at Lumna Acres. So a couple conclusions after just having the water set up for a little bit. I'm definitely glad I drilled the hole out with a 3/4 inch paddle bit. Then I took a male 1/2 inch piece of pipe thread, heated it up, and threaded the plastic. So now the plastic has threads on it. So hopefully that'll keep the pigs from pulling it out, because they're really biting on that and yarding on it. So if I would have just went with a little bit bigger of a hole and just lightly threaded in the nippler, it wouldn't have lasted. So definitely a recommendation to go ahead and use a 3/4 inch bit, drill it out, get some kind of male pipe thread, heat it up with a torch, and then you can make your own threads in the plastic 55-gallon drum.